Alright, here we go with card 1 for the Sweet Sunflower Paper Pumpkin Kit from August of 2022. This is the card that I made, and let's get started. I have an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper, scored at 4 1/4, or fold it in half. Go ahead and crease on the fold. Then we have a 4" by 5 1/4" piece of basic white that we will use this die from the Split Card Textures dies, and I will run that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut that out, and I will be right back. So I went and ran that through my die cut machine, removed the die off from there, and then you may have a few little pieces that you still need to punch out. But for the most part, you're done. And we will move on with, so I'm going to put it on the card. You can, if you would rather have your flowers up in the corner, up here, you can do it that way also. I wanted mine down in the lower portion. So that's what we're going to work with now. So I have the stamp set from the kit. And then you guys, I think this was my most favorite kit ever. This is gorgeous kit this month. So I'm going to get the sunflower off the sheet, and it looks like a sunflower, but I probably would think that you could turn it into just about any kind of flower you wanted. I'm going to bring in my scrap paper because I'm probably going to stamp off the edge. And I've got crushed curry ink. Just going to stamp up the flower and put it up, and let's see, because I want to put a word down there, so I'm going to put it up a little bit higher, around there. Oops, and I probably needed my little foamy thing underneath. That would have maybe stamped a little nicer image, but I'm going to bring in the center of the flower now with my early espresso. And I haven't really figured out if there is a spot that's supposed to go or not. But then I have my water painter, and then I'm just going to drag that around on there just to get the ink to spread. And then what I am also going to do, I'm doing this quickly. You could take as much time as you want to make sure it's spread around there. But what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take I'm going to squeeze that a little bit into the lid, and then I'm just going to pick up some of that in the aqua painter and put some of the dark into the leaves just to darken that up a little bit. And again, you can be as precise and artistic as you want to be. I'm just kind of hurrying here so that you are seeing what I'm doing, but not taking up a whole lot of time, because you need to get to crafting, not to sit there and watch me do mine. You got your own kit to do, or you wouldn't be watching this. So I got the yellow done, and I'm going to clean off my brush, and I'm going to come in with the early espresso and just kind of do the same thing. I'm going to try and spread the ink around a little bit and fill in the white space with the darker color. So that one, I'm going to call that one done. And then I have a piece of scrap paper that I'm going to, like, oh, I wanted to do a leaf too. Or a leaf. So I got my Mossy Meadow. Oh, I'm a green thumb stamper for sure now. Good thing I got black pants on down here today. And then I'm going to wipe off the tip of that. I don't like how that showed there, so I think I can get it in there a little bit closer if I take it off and it make it look more like it's behind the in with the flower. So that was my thought process there. So I'm going to take my green pad and do the same thing. I'm going to spread that ink around a little bit. And now I will pull in my scrap paper and do the same thing again. I'm going to put a sunflower down. I'll drag that around. See how much nicer it looks when I got the foam underneath? You get a much better image when you've got some type of fun foam or one of the Stampin' Up! Piercing mats. Something that's got a little bit of give to it, because these polymer stamps don't have the foam on them like the red rubber does. So you need that extra cushion, and that's what the mats will do. These foam mats will help with that. So I'm just picking up some of the yellow, quickly trying to add some extra color in there where I think it might be a little darker. Some of these leaves behind will be a little darker. Like this. And that one didn't even look like it got any at all. And this is one of our old aqua water painters, aqua brush, I think aqua pens we called them back in the day. Then I'm going to close that up before I wear it. I will get the center in. Whoa, that one was a little off. That's all right. We'll drag it out a little bit with fill in that white space with dark. Pick up a little more and see if I can get it to spread that dark out. Fill that in so that it looks more like the same darkness. And that helped a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is stamp a couple leaves. On my paper. And I can't see if I got my camera focus. The camera holder is right in the center of my phone, and that's where this is. So I hope you can see that. Then I'm going to drag that around. Get my brown out of there. I'm going to drag that around a little bit, and I'm going to go outside the lines because I'm going to cut these all out next. So I'm just going to drag it around and then grab my dark and kind of come up the center with it to give it a little bit of contrast. So I'm going to call that good. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, I have the pieces cut out now. And as you can see with this card, I did not use any of the kit pieces for this card. We're going to create it all with just paper and fussy cutting and stuff. You could, if you wanted, there's some sunflowers in there. You could try and create this sunflower on one of those. I believe it lines up. I haven't tried it because I didn't want to use the pieces, so I didn't try it yet to know if it's going to fit, but I think it will, and then you wouldn't have to fussy cut that out. But in order to save the contents, I went ahead and fussy cut it out. So we're going to mount this piece now on the same size, a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of crushed curry. Mount that. And if you have a different glue, I think I just put that on the wrong. I have to go this way. I will minimize the amount. Try not to do that. Actually, I can flip it over, glue it down. Try not to follow that little brain lapse I had there. All right, now we're going to glue it onto our card. Like this. And then I'm going to pop up, I'm going to stamp first. I got the hello on here. So you can use any of the sentiments that would fit on there. I'll do thank you on this one. I am in need of a bunch of thank yous right now for a whole bunch of different people, so that's not going to fit. Let's get out the block that is intended to work with that. We'll put thank you down here. And then that will let us know where to line up the other flower. So then just put some dimensionals on the back of your flower. And then you don't want to cover up your thank you, so I'm going to look right here and I'm going to stick it down. I'm going to leave these petals coming down. Then I'm going to I'm going to put another dimensional on one of these leaves. And I'm just going to kind of give it a little curl with my finger. And the watercoloring that I did on it is helping it kind of curl up a little bit too. And then I'm going to stick that down. Just tuck it under. And then this one I'm going to put some adhesive on. I want to put this one on flat, but I'm going to, again, give it a little curl with my finger. And then I'm going to push it down so that I'm giving them a little bit of dimension. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and just do our inside. I have a regular piece of white, basic white, that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm just going to go ahead and, I don't think I did anything in this one yet, and I believe what I want to do is I'm just going to stamp the outline of the sunflower, and I'm going to leave it as the outline. I might even stamp off once. And then I'm going to put it in the, nope, I'm going to put it down in the corner. Put my paper back. If you guys are wondering why I'm so worried, I use my calendar, my home calendar, for my white that I put down here. So if I ruin it, I don't get another one until the end of the month. And I do have a ton of paper that I could lay down, but these are just perfect. So I like to keep them, if I can, for the whole month. And then I'm going to get out my little inner circle again. And my crumb, or my early espresso. I'm going to stamp off. That was way bad. So we're going to turn it over. Try it again. Stamp off. And I'm not going to watercolor it or anything. I'm just going to leave it plain. And hopefully I can see the... Oh, that's better. So I'm going to leave it just like that. You could go ahead and watercolor it if you wanted to match, but I want the inside to be a little more subtle. And I will do the same thing for that one. And so you guys know we have 2 sides to every piece of paper. So we just flip it over when we make a mistake like that, or you don't like what you stamped, or you've accidentally touched it with your hand that got in the ink, or whatever. Just flip it over. So there's our first card, and I'll be back with the next one.